Okay, let's see if we got some audio rolling here for their 100th episode. Okay, we got audio. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to our 100th episode on the live stream. Appreciate everybody joining in. Let's get this party started. Cool. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are having a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day, and honor all those U.S. Active and military folks out there. Thank you for your service. And today is a special day. You know, besides being Memorial Day, this is our 100th episode. Can you believe that? Our 100th live stream together, hanging out here on the channel, and it's just this time just is so much work to get here, and we finally did it together. So, who's joining us today? I got Buddha Belly. Thanks for joining. Buddha Belly dropped some questions into the chat. I got Batty Badger. What's going on? Thanks. Congratulations on the 100. Cool. And Buddha Belly says, I hear you. Congrats on 100. Yeah, this is a lot of work, friends, and it's not an easy task, you know. And but I appreciate. I couldn't do this without you. But so just getting started on tonight's live stream, I just wanted to personally say thank you to all of you that are tuning in live each and every live stream, and those of you that are can't make it at this time of day and you're watching this on the replay. Thank you so very much for tuning in. You can be anywhere right now, and when you're surfing and you're learning online, you can be anywhere you want to be. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my content on this channel. Some of you are with me each and every day, and I get to chat with you every live stream. Others, I chat with you through other platforms, and I just want to say thank you. I can't do this without your support. And I want to thank, right now we also hit another big goal besides 100 episodes of these live streams coming to you 3 days a week on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. You know, and also too, we just broke 1,300 subscribers. That's just mind-blowing. And I just want to say thank you to all of you out there supporting the channel, and you know, just appreciate you watching, you know, at the end of the day. So thank you so much. You know, my goal of starting a YouTube channel, I've been around YouTube a little bit, you know. I started, you know, my YouTube channel quite a few years ago, but never really got into doing the YouTube thing. And one of the main reasons why I started a YouTube channel, just on for myself, was I had a YouTube channel with my sons, and you know, we created a YouTube channel and got well over 1,000 subscribers with that channel. It was a fly fishing channel, and my eldest son has gone off to do his own bushcraft and trapping channel, but especially fly fishing. That's a passion of mine. I love filming outdoors. I love directing, and I love you know, the cinematography of filming the outdoors. And you know, fly fishing was a great, and I cut my teeth on a lot of films and won a lot of awards doing outdoor films and things like that for different clients and besides the YouTube channel, etc. But it was lots of fun, and I just, you know, to me, I used to be a college instructor teaching at the art program in California, in the Bay Area. And I always wanted to get back into teaching again, and I've had a lot of different people over the years, besides my wife and my kids, you know, just say, hey Dad, you should start teaching again. And I had a lot of friends out there on Instagram and also here on YouTube, you know, just give me some advice and said you should start teaching online. I remember I was thinking about considering joining a online in school and doing that. And I said, well, you know what? While I'm waiting for that to happen, maybe I'll just start teaching online. And so forward, we have this YouTube channel, and this is the Paul Angeli YouTube channel, and this is dedicated to you folks out there that would like to learn more about visual storytelling, storyboarding, whether you're in film, animation, video, or whatever you might be working on. I've done so many different things, and I'd be happy to share. And I remember getting started when I was in school. I didn't go to an art college. I ended up I was going to become a doctor of all things, and was getting ready to, studying a lot of medicine, chemistry, math, biology, physiology, anatomy, everything like that. And, I was doing a lot of, back in the day, a lot of like textbook illustration and work like that, human body, stuff like that. And I had a friend who said, hey, listen, why don't you take this one computer art class? I'm like, computer art class? Okay, cool. I'll try it. And I took that one class, did my first cartoon back in the day, it was called Macromedia Director, and fell in love with animation, fell in love with film. I had to teach myself animation, and that's why I always joke around with my Illusion of Life book. That was my textbook, because I didn't go to a school that was a animation school, and and my mentor professor was a videographer and filmmaker, and so I sort of learned that end of filmmaking, starting sort of backwards on the film side and then going into the art side. And I changed my major and everything, created my own major because at the time, I guess the family wasn't big on getting an art degree, so I created my own major and started working before I could even get out of school. It was very difficult to stay in school because I was kept getting jobs and people offering me different gigs and projects and things like that. So got pretty fortunate, at the get-go. But had fun with that, and going through that process, all these years later, I sit there and I think about how can I help others out there. I never really had yes, I had professors and stuff like that, but it's like I never had that true mentor that would take you under their wing and help you get to where you wanted to go. And so I dabbled in a lot of different things, from animation to film to video games to comics to all different things, and that's what I try to give to you friends out there is somebody that you can talk to, and I try to share my story, my journey, my processes with you. And if somebody like myself can do it, I know you can do it too. And regardless of your age, where you are, what your background is, I think we all have stories, and we all have unique stories to tell. And I think it's just a great way to share your stories is through the mediums of comics, illustrations, filmmaking, animation. There's just so many great ways, and with the channel, I'm trying to explore different aspects of it that I've done, that I can share with you, and also exploring new things that I've never done. I haven't gotten too much into. I've gotten into augmented reality, but I haven't gotten into virtual reality, and that would be sort of fun to be talking about different things and filmmaking, and bring a lot of my filmmaking and professional friends into the channel too, to share their stories and to help you guys out there. But I want this to be the channel to be a resource for you and help you so you can tell your stories. And no matter what format you're going to tell your story, but we've been storytellers since the dawn of mankind, and we've been drawing on cave walls and doing hieroglyphs and paintings through the Renaissance to modern art to Disney animation and to filmmaking from the greatest films that we enjoy seeing. So tonight is our celebration, and I'm here to answer any question that you might have. And so throw them in the chat. Let me just say hi to everybody in the chat right now. So I had Buddha Belly hanging out, and I had Betty Badger here. Marianne GR, thanks so much for coming in. Marianne says, hello, congrats on the 100 streams. Hi, you're welcome. I think the next one we'll celebrate is 500 or something like that. But I'm just so humbled and honored that you would subscribe to my channel, listen to what I have to say, and my goal for you is to take away that little bit of information, that inspiration, that little bit of information to help you on your journey. And I'm looking forward to, this was a lot of work to get here, and I think our very first live stream, let me go back to that real quick. I think our very first live stream, let me go here, let me see here. My very first live stream came out on September 30th, 2023, not too long ago. That was the very first one, and we talked about learn to draw for storyboards, and this was part of that Mastering the Basics series. And you know, we've come so far since that time, you know, and I can't believe we've done 100 videos or 100 live streams going over, you know, storyboarding, mastering the basics. We've done the our sketching after hours, and we've done our jam sessions. So, you know, you think about it, 3 times a week since September 30th, 2023. And it means the world for me for you guys tuning in, whether if you're watching live or you're watching this on the replay because you just didn't have time. But I appreciate you hanging out to be with me, and it just means the world to me. Betty Badger says, there's no greater agony than burying an untold story inside you, from the great writer Maya Angelou. Yeah, so true, so true. I think we all have stories in us, and we have to get those stories out. And, you know, I'm a big proponent of it. You know, I think we need original content. You know, I think we need to hear your story. You know, we all come from different backgrounds. We come from different life experiences. We all have different likes. And, you know, and I think those are things to open our eyes to. You know, so sometimes, you know, we would just want to be entertained. We want to go to the movies and for a couple hours be whisked away and forget about our regular day-to-day and be whisked away into a fantastic story. Or, you know, we want to read a good book or hear a fantastic song or see, you know, go in and view and observe a fantastic painting or statue, you know, or creation. I think there's all different ways we can tell our stories. You know, I think great storyboard artists are jack of all trades too, because you're a storyboard artist, storyboard. You know, you need to know how to tell stories, and I think writing stories is really beneficial to storyboard artists. I think drawing those storyboards helps you to take the written word and turn it into a visual medium that others can understand. And, you know, then you can go off different ways. You can go animation, you can go to film, you can go all different ways to tell your stories out there. But I think each one of us have a story to tell or stories to tell. And I think it's a joy to hear everybody's story. Blissful Soul joining in. Hey, Polly. Hey, Blissful Soul. How you doing? Good to see you. Blissful Soul says, congrats on the 100 streams. Yay. Hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. So, the time right now that we're going to be spending together, I might draw a little bit too, but let's talk about your questions. And I asked you, I'm going to answer whatever questions. I have some questions that were sent in to me, and I'd be happy to answer those questions. I'm going to kick off. Buddha Belly had a great question. Let me go over to Buddha Belly's question. Buddha Belly's question was, what are good page dimensions for a comic or an illustrated story versus storyboard? So with that, Buddha Belly, I think let me go to Photoshop. Here, let's turn this off. I'll type something up for you real quick. Open this up. I think first thing I would sort of think about is maybe 400 DPI on your page. If you're doing digital, you'd do 6.875 inches by 10.438 inches. This includes the bleed. Okay, so when you're doing a comic page and you're laying out your comic page, usually about 400 DPI. When I'm doing my resolution, when I'm boarding and stuff like that, it's usually around 300 DPI. Sometimes I go even more, depending on what the production is needed. But 6 inches, 0.875 inches by 10. Whoop! Oh, I messed that up there. 10 point wrong cursor. There you go. And that would include the bleed. The bleed is what is to the edge of the page, and then you could have a trim on around that bleed. So you have your sort of your safe area plus your bleed. Your final comic page, when it is cut up, would be 6.625 inches by 10.187 inches. And that would be with the trimming. Okay, so that's a great comic book size. Whoops, let me get there to you so we can see that screen. Oh, right there. So for Buddha Belly, there's your answer for your question of what size dimensions you need for your comic. When I'm, so again, 400 DPI, it depends on your printer who might be printing, screen resolution on a computer is 72 DPI. Usually I'm working with 300 or greater when I'm doing my storyboards or the printed work for that. For your comic, you'd want to use 400 DPI. That's 6.875 inches by 10.438 inches, and that goes all the way to the bleed of the border. And then if you have it trimmed a little bit, it would be the regular final size would be 6.625 by 10.187 inches. So, and then Buddha Belly says, you should always put the blue in your thumbnails. It's like the perfect color. I like the blue. It's a cool color. I try different things, see what people like. I'm glad you like the blue. Cool. So drop your questions in there. Akeem Morrison, how's it going? Yeah, no, it's, when you, I think for you folks that are getting into YouTube, I think for me, it's like I never, when I commit to something, I'm committed to doing it. And I wanted to be committed to you friends out there. And whether I've just got home from work or I've had a long day and I'm exhausted or I'm sicker than a dog, I've been on this YouTube channel bringing you some great content. And I just, it's one of those commitments. I'm a committed type of person. You've been committed to me with your time. I want to be committed to you that, when I say I'm going to have a show, we're going to have a show. Even if I'm late to say, hey, we're going to have a show, I'm going to have that show. We'll see how long we can go. I have some other things in the pipeline that I would like to be doing with you all, and where we might slim down the amount of live streams and go to other platforms, not necessarily other than YouTube. We'll stay on YouTube or something like that, but try to offer you more one-on-one coaching and counseling and helping you to attain what your goals are. And so some cool things, and that's where I'm using that Buy Me a Coffee platform. And I'm about ready to launch that soon. So, because a lot of you have reached out to me via email and have asked, hey, Paul, I'd like to get some one-on-one guidance, and we're going to start that up very, very soon, and looking forward to it. Tyler Patton, congrats to 100. I found your stream super helpful. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Hey, anytime, Tyler, anytime. So, folks, with this 100th episode, I wanted to spend some time with you and just answering your questions. So, what questions do you have? Drop them in the chat so I can see them. I'm going to start reading off of some of the questions that have already been given. We just answered Buddha Belly's question about comic size pages. One of the questions I get asked all the time, and it is the most difficult question to answer. And one of the viewers here on the YouTubers over here on the channel asked, Polly, what are your favorite movies? And boy, that was a tough question. I've loved film ever since I was a little kid. It was something my family did a lot. We went to the movies or went to the drive-in, and I have some fond memories seeing movies, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get into making films and making movies and cartoons and everything like that, is I was just so mesmerized by it. I never thought I'd do it as a career back in the day, but you never know how life works out, and you get to get your opportunity to do these wonderful things. My favorite movies, this was a tough question, because I sort of break them up into genres and things like that of what I like. But I'll put it to you this way. So if I catch just even a scene or a sequence, or I hear the theme of a movie or whatever, I gotta watch the whole thing, and I'm crazy about that. And there's a list of movies, and there's folks that I'd love to work with one of these days, and that I'm mesmerized with and love watching. And there's movies that I like watching, and I'll watch it every once in a while. But these are the movies that I would say that I can't stop watching, and I've seen them a million times, and I'll continue to watch them. I just think they're a great film, and that's the way it goes. So number one film I love watching all the time, and this is hands down, gets me excited about movies. I was always hoping to be able to work on one of these films, but unfortunately the last couple didn't do so hot at the box office. But I still love the subject. I still love the main character. I still love the ambiance of it. I'm a crazy man when I go to Disneyland or Disney World or something like that. I have to go see this ride or whatever, But favorite movie is going to be Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think seeing that movie just inspired me. A lot of people say Star Wars, or Polly, you might say Star Wars, but it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I thought that was even today. I love it all, and I know the last two movies have been a little but I still love it, and I really enjoyed all the franchise of all the films, and just what it's all about, and Harrison Ford and Spielberg behind the camera, Lucas writing with others, and it's just a great character, and I love it. And anytime you see me, if you catch me in Disneyland or whatever, I'm on the Indiana Jones ride, or checking out those type of things. But I think it's a great film. I enjoy it. It's one of my all-time favorites. So number two, that's always on all the time, if I catch it all the time, would be some people will laugh, but it's all right. It's Dances with Wolves. This was Kevin Costner's film, and that film is amazing to me. And I used to be big in the Scouts when I was a kid, and I was taught by some Native Americans on how to do traditional Indian dancing and things like that. And I was just so mesmerized by the Native American culture and cowboys and the whole nine yards. And whenever Dances with Wolves is on, and if you ever get to watch a backstory and about Dances with Wolves, I just say, and how much hardship Kevin Costner and the rest of the team went through to get this movie made. It was just it's an interesting story. So if I ever get a chance to ever work with Kevin Costner, that would be absolutely fantastic. I know he's working on his I would say it's more than a trilogy of films called Horizon. that's coming out soon, and that would be great to be a part of it. And I was talking to a couple other pros that have worked on a couple of the first two movies of Horizon, and just like that's an amazing experience, and that would be something to be doing a western like that. So that's number two. Number three for me would be The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and that's Sergio Leone's movie starring Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, and Eli Wallach. And there's not a time I don't go by and I don't watch that movie. I think I think that overall, just I love the ambiance of it all. I love the filming. I love the cinematography. There's just so many, the music, and Ennio Morricone. There's just so much to it to enjoy. And while we're talking, throw your favorite movies are. I'm curious to know what your guys is. What are your favorite movies of all time? Let's see. There's so many. I would say number four for me would be Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock with Jimmy Stewart, and Rear Window. I just that's another one that I think blocking and staging and just everything, the set decoration set up for that movie is just amazing. So I'm going to leave it at the top four right there. So again, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Dances with Wolves, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Rear Window. Now there's a ton of other movies that like, wow. And I think there's a few others that I would watch all the time. But I think there's some. What's interesting is they sort of go to westerns. I do a lot of westerns and things like that. I don't know if it's my favorite genre, but it's like they happen to be all westerns. There's a lot of films out there like The Godfather or Casino, Ghostbusters, the Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, the 1989 Batman, Alien. They're just I can go off to a list of other films I've enjoyed. The Matrix when that first came out. There's just so many different movies that have inspired me in different ways and exciting to do. So what are your movies? Throw it in the chat. Love to know. So Marianne GR says, have you ever had an idea that gave you a hard time portraying it? I often have ideas that surpass my drawing ability. Good question. Let me see here. Okay, so Marianne, have you ever had an idea that gave you a hard time portraying it? I often have ideas that surpass my drawing ability. You know what I would say? Just do the best you can, Marianne. You know what I mean? If this is your story, just do the best you can with your drawings. Art is in the eye of the beholder. And we're always waiting for permission to say that we're good or our artwork's great. And even for me, I think it's putting in the practice, putting in the pencil mileage gets you better at your craft. Film after film, drawing after drawing, and putting it out there. Don't be scared. I have seen some YouTube channels here with stick figure animation, and they got millions of views, probably counting in the money on monetization and stuff like that. And it's just stick figures. A lot of you sit there and you look at something like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you see Spielberg's scratchy little drawings of his sequences, and you're waiting to see some sort of Rembrandt or something, but it's not, and I think you need to be patient with yourself, put in the pencil mileage, and draw the best you can. As long as your image is portraying the story you're trying to tell, you're right there, my friend. I've seen storyboard artists from everywhere, and I've seen a lot of different work, and as long as it's the clarity is there, it tells the story, and you're understanding what the image is showing, the essence of how good the piece of artwork is irrelevant. You know, unless you're doing a comic book where it's more illustrated based, and you are seeing the mental image between each of the shots in the gutter, you know, of your layout. In a storyboard, you're going to be seeing each image, you know, as it's flowing to you. There's no thinking about it, or what was that image before, or your mind is making an image in the middle. No, it's you're drawing every image, you know, in terms of what you're doing. You know, so keep going at it, friend. And if you ever want to check in with me, check in. And I'd love to see your work and what you're working on. And you know, happy to help you out. You know, but don't ever hold yourself back because of what you think your skill level is, and don't compare yourself to others. You know, just do the best you can. And as long as your images, like I said, is clear, concise, tells the story, you understand who all the parties are who the characters are, or what the situation is, and you know your shots, you're going to be okay, you know. So in terms of what you're doing, bad is pronounced just bad. Okay, no problem, bad. Cool. Bad Badger. I like that anyway. I like that handle. Bad Badger. That's pretty cool. Rear Window was my introduction to Hitchcock. Yeah, awesome. You know, that's really cool. I just think I think when you're looking at a Hitchcock movie, whether it be Psycho, The Birds, whatever it might be, I think he does a wonderful job. You know, you sit there and you got one camera, lighting, you know, mic setups and all that stuff, and you have to get the most out of each shot, you know. And you know, whether, you know, you sit there and look at a movie like Rope with Jimmy Stewart as well, you know, I mean, it's just you're getting so much detail in his blocking and staging, and how he's getting those compositions within his shots. I think, you know, if somebody asks me, Polly, what movies should I watch, and what if I'm learning storyboarding or filmmaking, there's quite a few directors I would definitely look at their work at. And Hitchcock is, get it in there, you know, learn from Hitchcock. There's so much different you know, work that you can learn from Hitchcock. Akira Kurosawa, you know, Seven Samurai. You know, you have you know, from Scorsese to gosh, everybody, Coppola with The Godfather, you know, modern, you know, or renegade directors like Quentin Tarantino. There's just so much you can learn, you know. You know, The Shining would be another movie. You know, there's so many movies you can learn from. A Clockwork Orange, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Just there's so many westerns you can learn from as well. Other films, you know, if you're a big fan of Christopher Nolan, just fantastic filmmaking. You know, Wes Anderson, if you like that storybook or you know, style that he has. There's just so many. You could watch the Lord of the Rings, you know, films. You know, Guillermo del Toro. You know, there's just David Fincher. You know, there's just so many great directors out there, and not only the directors, but look up your directors of photography too. Your cinematographers. There's so many great people out there to learn from. And you know, study those films, know your film history, even if you go back to the early days of film and why they made films, whether it be Chaplin or Buster Keaton. You know, how did this all come to play? You know, I remember studying animation, and it was just off Edward Muybridge, you know, and just looking at his photos, his stock photo frames. So lots to learn from that. Hopefully that's a lot of info for you guys to write down in movies and stuff. So, you know, there's other directors, like I love Ridley Scott's work. You know, I just watching Gladiator, or his latest movie, the Napoleon, or you know, Alien. You know, just there's so many great films, you know, in his repertoire. You know, let's see. Buddha Belly says I was a huge Hitchcock fan. Cool. Akeem Morrison, I'll for sure check them out. Cool. And Akeem Morrison asks, Mad Max fans? Yeah, definitely. Mad Max. I grew up with the Mel Gibson versions of all the movies, and that was always cool. And Mel Gibson and Tina Turner, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and I always liked that little kid with the boomerang, and the other guy that flew the chopper. There's all sorts of cool stuff, and I've enjoyed all those movies, and the latest ones too. I haven't seen the Furiosa yet, but I did see the Tom Hardy one that came out. It was great. When it comes to cinematography and you're working outdoors, you have all these fantastic vehicles and just really just a creative eye, uh, and just those are fantastic films. I've gotten a chance to talk to the storyboard artists on those films. It's just awesome, And I remember was it the latest Mad Max movie, not the one before before this latest one. They pretty much did it as a whole comic book film. They pretty much comic book paged, storyboarded out the entire movie, and that storyboard artist did every single image that you saw come up on screen. And when they did the latest Furiosa one, they did more previs in a lot of the shots. Cool, but yeah, Mad Max, love it. Bad Badger says, I love the Thing too. Oh yeah. The original Thing with it was just awesome. Let me see on that. Yeah, Kurt Russell, 1982. Yeah, that was the bomb. That movie was really good. Just when and you go back to I've seen the newer one, and I go back to the older one, the original Kurt Russell movie. Just very, very cool, in terms of what you're doing. Yeah, so I agree with you, Bad Badger. I love the Thing. Cool. Buddha Belly says, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. Some like it hot. Monster and Labyrinth. Yeah. Seeing some like it hot. Cool. Spotless Sunshine of the Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. And Monster, and then Labyrinth. Are you talking Labyrinth with? Which was that with David Bowie? Labyrinth. Yeah, that's cool. Buddha Belly says Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters. Okay, that's all for now. Big for me when the 1989 Batman came out. I was, always a fan of Tim Burton's work. And if I go back in my sketchbooks, I see a lot of Tim Burton, Nightmare Before. I would say one of my when we talk animation and stuff like that, I love Nightmare Before Christmas. When my wife and I were dating, we took her over there, get to watch Jack Skellington and Oogie Boogie, and it's great. I love watching. I guess on YouTube they have late Paul Rubens and Catherine O'Hara. Just everybody. Singing all the songs. Danny Elfman, just awesome. So it's fun, and love that. The other one was Leica with Paranorman and Coraline. I enjoy those as well. Those are playing all the time at the house, by the way. Over here, Ghostbusters. I think that's on my top 20 list. The original Ghostbusters with the original old school guys. And love that. Very cool. I even went to New York just to go to the library and see the lion statues and the whole 9 yards. One of my Ghostbuster Walk of Fame type of thing. Marianne just GR says, I see. Thank you, Paul. Anytime. I really love that one movie with Frank Frieda's style. Fire and Ice. I think that might be. Is that what you're talking about? Fire and Ice. Cool. Wolf Midnight. Hey, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. And he got a credit for writing for his work. Cool. Buddha Belly says David Bowie, Labyrinth, Monster. Oh, I haven't seen Charlize Theron in Monster. I got to see that. Eternal Sunshine with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. since you didn't know it. It's a wild ride. Yeah, I got to check it out. Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about the Ghostbuster thing. So I was working at a company, and we were at the W Hotel, and there were two things we needed to check out. My wife wanted to see where all the scenes were shot for You Got Mail, Nora Ephron's movie with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, and I wanted to see, everything Ghostbusters. So we both shared and traveled all around Central Park to, the library. And the funny story about the library, across the street was the Orvis fly fishing shop, and so as soon as I checked out all the and took a bunch of photos of trying to recreate the shots, turned around and went to Orvis and bought a bunch of fly fishing gear. It was just a crazy story. So it happens. Yeah, but that was fun. That was fun. Marianne GR. I like Angel's Egg. It's an OVA, I think, but Yoshitaka Amano aesthetic is peak too. Cool. I got to check that out. Angel's Egg. Then Blissful Soul says, yeah, Fire and Ice. Yeah, it was a cool, where they just pretty much drew over all the characters doing everything, rotoscoped it, and put it in. So very cool. So what other questions do you friends have out there? I'm going to take a sip of my drink. What questions do you have? Throw it in the chat. We got a good chat going on now. Happy 100th episode. And give it here for a second before I answer another question that was sent in. Drop it in the chat, my friends. Drop it in the chat. What questions do you have? Drop it in the chat. Cool. Good. Nobody's asking any questions. That's all right. Cool. Okay, I'll share with something here. I had a... Do reality shows have storyboards? That's a good question. Personally, I haven't seen any have a storyboard yet because they're sort of on the fly. I think they have a schema of what's going on, but I've never seen I've never met a storyboard artist yet that is storyboarded for a reality show like that. I did meet some other friends out there that have storyboarded for those when they do a sequence for a TV show or like a reenactment of you think of I'm trying to think of a gosh yeah, no, that's what I was thinking of. You think of somebody like Bill Shatner, mystery type of show. They'll go and storyboard a sequence if it's like I haven't seen it for like River Monsters or something like that, but some of these shows where they're doing reenactment of a crime or whatever, or a historical type of thing, I will see them do some storyboard sequences for that because they have to sort of reenact, yeah, like forensic files, something like that. Yeah, I'll see that done. And I've spoken to a few other board artists that work on shows like that do these reenactments, and they sort of storyboard it out and then put it into an animatic and then go and shoot from there if they're a director or a second AD. So they'll do it like that. One of the big things that I've been asked a lot is like, you know, when should I start, you know, or how to get started. And I think at the end of the day, whether you're trying to get into to become a filmmaker, a storyboard artist, a comic book artist, a children's book illustrator, a writer, just get in and do it. Don't wait for permission. There's not some magical person that'll say, I anoint you, you are ready. You know, you have to be putting in the work. And I use this for when I'm working with folks. It's like, if you want that role, you got to put in the work to show me you can do the role. You don't get the role because you want the role. You get the role because you've done the work and the preparation to get the role that you're trying to be successful at. And, you know, that's sort of I think the trick of it all, you know, and everybody says, oh, it's luck or this, that. I think you need to put in the hard work, and people will see that hard work and admire that hard work, and you're there. You don't just get to say, I'm this, and boom, I'm expecting a job, or I'm expecting to work on the latest Marvel movie. You know, you need to put in the work and show that you can do the work. And you do it with your own projects, your own stories. You know, what is your vision? You know, what is your vision behind the camera? What is your vision behind your Cintiq or your pencil? You know, what is your story? So I've done a lot of things on my own, and of stretching myself. You know, I started, you know, this whole thing, my whole journey. I wanted to always be a director, and that's my goal. You know, is to direct. I love people. I love working with talent. I love working with all the different talent types, whether it be actors or cinematographers or whatever. You know, audio. You know, composers. I always have these dreams. I can't wait to be sitting, and I'm working with the composer, and we're working on the film music, or the score for the film. There's so many different things I'm looking forward to, but you have to start off little. You have to start off small. You have to start off those things. So I'll share with you one of the films I did along, and I've won quite a few awards. And one of the things that I started getting into was just outdoor filmmaking. You guys know I love fly fishing, and that was an easy segue for me. And I'll throw this up on the screen here. And this was my first international competition. This is with Fly Fusion magazine, and they did what they called the Stymie Awards. And this was my first. I'd done quite a few other short films that I got received honorable mentions for, but I got the silver award for this particular film called Passion on the Fly. And the Passion on the Fly, it was personal to me because with this film, because I love fly fishing, and this one was very personal to me because it starred both my sons, and you know, they were my talent in the film. It's a short, like 10-minute film. You can catch it online on YouTube, but it's called Passion on the Fly. I love this movie, this film a lot, because of course they're my children. They're a lot older now, but at the time they were still young. And my eldest, who's in the cover of this film, he was on Team USA for fly fishing, so he was one of the top kids here in the United States, representing the country for fly fishing. So you know, it goes over his passion and love for fly fishing, and I've always been sitting there with my camera filming him all the time, and this was his story. So fun you know, thing to do. So I'd enter in different film contests, you know, to work on those directing chops and cinematography and all those type of things. So I was fortunate enough, like I said, this was cool. It wasn't just a domestic U.S., but an international, you know, award too. So it was very cool. But you know, those are things I'll share with you. And you know, you gotta go out and you gotta put yourself out there, and you know, try different things. And that's the point of what we're talking about, is, you know, is put yourself out there and try. So cool. cool. Do reality shows. Okay. You know, by the way, Buddha Billy, I'm reading your comment. I love Oak Island. Have they ever found anything yet? I know they found all sorts of little things, but have they ever found anything big on Oak Island yet? Nova Scotia? Man, I was hooked on that show for many seasons and just non-stop. And was it Gary Drayton, the Bobby Dazzler guy? You know, the great characters in that thing. Anyway, so Marianne GR, original video animation is like a movie essentially, but for like anime short stories, like compacted anime. IDK, I don't know how to explain it. So original video animation is like a movie essentially, but for like anime short stories. Trying to understand your question. Let me see here. I'm trying to understand your question, Marianne. Cool. Original video animation is like a movie essentially, but like anime short stories. Let's see, but I found stuff dated. Oh, Buddha Billy's catching me up. They found stuff dated to Knights Templar and other stuff. Are you talking about the cross? I know I've seen the cross. Oh, Buddha Belly. It was my question. Marion answered. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I was trying to figure out what that meant. Okay, what other questions do we have? We're hanging out, having a good time. Take a sip of my drink, talking. Do. Okay, here's another question for you friends out there. Boom. Where would you like the channel to go next? Where would you like? What would you like us to explore? I'll throw that into the chat, friends. What would you like? So where would you like the channel to go next? Right now we've been doing the 3 times a week. We've been doing storyboarding, mastering the basics. We've been doing our sketching after hours on Thursdays. Excuse me. And on Saturdays we've been doing our storyboard jam sessions. If you have any ideas, throw it in the chat. I super appreciate that. So Buddha Belly was telling me, yeah, this with the circle on top, lots of wood. They found gold in water. That's all I know. Gold readings in water. Huh, interesting. Boy, they poured a lot of money into that Oak Island. Holy smoke. Little animation. You want to see little animation shorts? Is that what you're asking for, Buddha Belly? Or teaching on how to animate? I have to write this down. So let's see. Okay, so Wolf Midnight says I love storyboarding. Okay, cool. So storyboarding. Now, is there a style of storyboarding you want to see? Live action, animation? Does it matter? Little of both? Wolf Midnight, Blissful Soul. What days are you usually on the live stream? I have been religiously on Monday nights, Thursday nights, and Saturday nights. And little animation shorts. So, okay, let me see what it is you did. Yes, learning to do animation shorts like cartoons. Okay, cartoons. Cool. Wolf says, Wolf Midnight says, a little bit of both. Okay. Blissful Soul says, how about a little character prompt and making a little story with storyboards? Okay. With storyboards. Now, do you want to see it animation style, Blissful Soul, or do you want to see it realistic? Which way? Or just like a little cartoon, like something like Pink Panther, or like you'd see on Nickelodeon or something like that. And I'll ask my next question. Okay. Little character story, a little bit of both. Blissful, a little bit of both. Yes, animation. Okay, cool. And then my next question, would you like me to host a workshop or mentorship or make myself available for one-on-one mentoring to help you get to your goals? Let me know in the chat. So this is something I'm planning on doing through my Buy Me a Coffee site, is being able to offer either a workshop or mentorship or just make myself available for like a Google Meet, and we can sort of hang out and we can go over in detail what help I can offer to you and help you get on your way. Yeah, let me know. Appreciate that. Yeah, we haven't done a lot with characters and sort of character animation or that. Okay, so Marianne says maybe some portfolio reviews. Cool. Bad Badger, I personally feel like I need more pencil mileage before finding mentorships. Fair enough. Membership. Okay. Mentorship. Cool. Yeah, Bad Badger, I would say, yeah, put in that pencil mileage in, no, Bad Badger, are you trying to get into storyboarding? And Blissful Soul said, yeah, mentorship. Okay, cool. Do you, Blissful Soul, do you want a group type setting or a one-on-one setting? Let me know. Because I've seen okay, so workshop to keep learning. Okay, cool. So Buddha Belly says, I need help with when my project is done, figuring out the final touches, but mostly workshop to keep learning. Cool. So there's a few things I've got in the pipeline here. I still want to provide a lot of information here on YouTube, but then have some offshoots, um, both with the mentorship or the workshop type of structure online with a different platform, or possibly going to Gumroad to give you more of like, hey, this is the package for how to draw characters, and this is the package for how to storyboard, or those type of things. No, not right. I am looking more into illustration, but I've barely just begun holding a pencil, so I've got a bit to explore. Cool. No, I'm really happy you're holding that pencil, Bad Badger. That's the first step. It is the leap of faith and going and drawing. And check out a lot of these, because I talk about how to simplify your drawings here on the channel, and to start off really slow. So check out some of those old live streams that we did earlier. Hopefully they give you some insight into how to draw. I've done some basic how to draw male heads, female heads, bodies, gesture, those type of things. So check those out if you haven't seen those. I think a group would be cool to meet other artists and connections too. Okay, good. Fair feedback. Appreciate that, because I want to keep, you know, a lot of things for free here on the YouTube channel, and then you know, as we get more in depth and in detail, those would be for more of the workshop mentorship, or you know, mentoring one-on-one, you know. So cool, good stuff. Okay, what other questions do you have? Drop them in the chat. Cool, we got a great group of people here, and I appreciate everybody sharing, from Blissful Soul to Bad Badger, and you know, Wolf Midnight and Marianne GR. Just appreciate everybody, you know, jumping in, you know, and hanging out. I have so many folks coming in here. I had a Key Morrison, Tyler Patton. Awesome to have so many people in here hanging out. A group would be a nice way to start. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Yeah, something that we could maybe like a Google Meet type of scenario where we're all sort of hanging out, and we can chat about a topic and sort of go over the basics of stuff. You know, because what I've found in other programs is they already expect you to know how to draw everything and do everything, and it's hard if you're just getting started and you're like, well, I'm not, you know, I haven't learned how to draw yet, and I'm expected to draw these storyboard shots, and you know, it's difficult. And I've seen all different calibers of folks, and you want to be able to come into an environment where you feel safe and you're okay, you know, and it's not like, oh, we're talking about this and this and this, and I think some people need to, you know, you have to get your foundation solid, and then you can start growing into all different disciplines from there. Yeah, Bad Badger says, yeah, group is usually good. I often see a lot about Discord groups growing, flourishing art communities. Yeah, no, I think Discords are great because you can share your artwork. It's sort of like a chain there, and you can leave topics and sort of share things that way. I've seen it for storyboarding and other way, you know, other avenues of art and stuff, and that you can have some sort of demos and things like that too. So some cool stuff there. Very cool. So what projects? Obviously, a few of you are learning how to draw, and others are working on like a story or a comic and stuff, and storyboards. Very, very cool. What other questions do you have? Keep the questions coming. I think we've talked about who your favorite comic artists. Yeah, I'd have to look into the Discord group. Let's see about a Discord group. Oh, I'm waiting. The other questions, drop it in the chat. Blissful Soul is asking how everybody's month is. This has been for me, this has been just a wacky, crazy month. And I can't believe how quickly this month has gone by. I mean, just crazy. How about you, Blissful Soul? Bad Badger says, can't believe it's already almost over. It flies too fast. You're so right. It's like when you're having fun and you're working so hard, it just like disappears on you. That's why when I talk to a lot of people, I just go, and you're talking about storyboarding and learning, I just say be patient. Take your time, don't be in such a rush. Things take time. Be kind to yourself. And it's hard because you want to get it done, you want to do it now. And it just gets difficult. Got to give yourself the time. Marianne is saying, Buddha Belly says, fast, so glad it's warmer weather though. Marianne says the weather is destroying me too. Hot in here. Yeah, where I'm at, it's really humid over here in Pennsylvania. I mean, humid. You can feel it right now. Bad Badger says, it's hard to be patient with so little time to devote to drawing. I need to practice patience more. Yeah. Be good to yourself. Everybody's always in a rush. All the time. and just things take time. I wish I could say that there's a magic pill or something, but it just takes time. And on top of learning the basics, then you're trying to find your own style. In terms of what you're doing as well. So that's why I always say be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. You know, it's a process. It takes time. And I think another thing is don't compare yourself to other artists. Just do you and focus on doing you. It's like what Marianne was, the advice I was giving to Marianne. Just if you can't do everything you want to do yet, it's okay. Just take your time. And at the end of the day, it's not a race. What's difficult is sometimes you're into it and you got everything rolling, and other times just it's not happening. Blissful Soul says, I realize having a 9-to-5 job gives me a chance to take the time and go through my art journey without having to rush it to make money, but it still needs energy and focus. So true. I think when you have a 9-to-5 job, you appreciate taking the time when you do get a chance to draw and do that work. Yeah, don't feel like that, Bad Badger. Just as long as you start. Starting is the tough part. And then being consistent. Because when it comes to doing your artwork and these type of things, it takes practice. It takes motor skills of what you're doing. It takes time to learn, and there's so many different things. If you're drawing, how to draw a face, how to draw gesture, how to draw the human body, cars, perspective, composition. There's so many things, but take a little bit at a time. Master that, then go on to the next thing. And it's not a race, and it's not even a race to make up lost time. As long as you put one foot in front of the next, one drawing after the drawing, you're gonna get into the groove, and you'll get faster. Everything will sort of work out for you that way too. Blissful Soul, the drawing reminds me of Bewitched. Yeah, Tabitha Stevens. I just started drawing this. I had drawn something like this. You know, you're talking about little drawings and stuff. I was on just lunch break today, and I just started doing some doodles with some Sharpies and some paper I had in the car while I was eating my lunch. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna draw that tonight for everybody while we're hanging out. So yeah, any questions you have, drop in the chat while I'm just sort of hanging out here doing this character here, and you can sort of see the stages of it coming together. Try all different things. Consistency is key for sure. I've started plenty of times before, but really been consistent. Thanks for the kind words. Of course. Here to give you a hand. Yeah, I think it's consistency. Hmm. Charlie's Angel thing going on here. One thing I do sometimes is I'll put a piece of paper, oops, not showing the drawing. Sometimes I put a piece of paper down to get that the grit and the flow a little bit. Sometimes I miss that when you're drawing on glass. Okay. Cool. Any other questions you guys have? Any other questions? I'll leave it up and open for a couple more minutes. I hope you guys are drawing along too. Just thought I would get into a little drawing session there for real quick. Got to play with some of those cartoon characters and stuff that we were talking about that a few of you mentioned. We'll have to do something with that. Cool. What other questions do you have? And answer those questions real quick. Let me check over here on the chat. Good conversation all night tonight. So I appreciate everybody with the great conversation, the contributions, and the questions and everything. So thanks so much. I appreciate that. Okay, friends. I got a little past 1 in the morning. This has been an awesome time hanging out with you, friends, and partying with you and celebrating our 100th episode together, answering your questions, sharing a little bit, and I hope you got a lot out of tonight's live stream and answered a few of your questions that you've been waiting to hear. Yeah, Bad Badger says, I'm drawing too. Thanks to the stream. You got it, my friend. And for you, Bad Badger, please consider, consistency. Draw a little bit if you can every day or every other day. It'll all help out. And just even that little bit, 5-10 minutes, doing a couple, like I just sat down in the car today. I think I spent 5 minutes just doing a quick little sketch. So any time is always a good time. And if you enjoy the craft of drawing, go ahead and get started, and I'm really happy you were able to join our live stream, so thanks so much for joining. Buddha Belly says, thanks, Paul. Yes, drawing. Yes, drawing. Have a good night. Congrats. Thanks so much. Hey, listen, folks, I couldn't have done this without your help and your support, so thank you. And I look forward to seeing you again, on our next live stream. Today is Monday. We'll shoot back on Thursday for Sketching After Hours. And hope to see you guys then, and enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. Thank you to those friends that are watching this on the replay. If you shoot your questions into the, the video comments, I'd be happy to answer them too. Or you can leave you with my contact information if you want to reach out. Again, I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for watching, and I just want to go through and thank everybody for watching our 100th episode. And I got Blissful Soul, Marianne GR, Buddha Belly, Bad Badger. Who else did I have here? Wolf Midnight. Always a pleasure with Wolf jumping on. And then who else did I have? I had a few other folks jumping on. Where are you? Tyler Patton, thank you so much. Akeem Morrison, thanks so much for jumping on. I really appreciate everybody hanging out and being with me tonight. I'll leave you with my contact information. I will see you Thursday for our 101st episode. Till then, take care, have a great night, and don't forget, to tell your stories. See you on the next one. Take care, everybody.